YouTube? It is your boy Trev. I am coming to you today with a little drama. This is actually going to be a tough one to make because I'm gonna hit you with some opinions and some perspectives that probably aren't going to be popular. Okay, but what you get from me is the real every time. All right, I really don't even plan these videos out most of the time. You're getting my thoughts that are coming out of my head, unfiltered, and right to you, and it is what it is. Okay, so what I want to tell you about is a situation going on right now between Happy Caddy Crypto and the Terra Rebel development team that is working on LUNC. All right, when LUNC first crashed, okay, this Terra Rebels team was formed. They were like something apes or something like that at some point. But anyway, they came together and ended up being the Terra Rebels development team. And I remember I was listening to their first kind of an AMA kind of thing, you know, where they all got together and were broadcasting this meeting to kind of introduce themselves and tell you what they were planning on doing. During that meeting, they voted Happy Caddy in as their official spokesman. Okay, I had some feelings about that. I didn't think that anybody else could have done that job better. The guy's excellent with the technical stuff. When they talk to him, he knows what they're talking about. So I thought it was a great choice that they made. I wasn't so sure that he made a great choice because as a YouTuber, you kind of need to be unbiased, right? If someone is doing well and you want to give them praise, go right ahead. But as soon as they screw up, you should be able to talk about that too. And being this spokesman, I was worried, put him in a situation where he was going to be press secretary, and that's not really where I wanted him. I kind of wanted him doing what he was doing, giving us his unfiltered opinion on things, okay? But I haven't gotten to know the guy because I've never really spoken to him. He's never really commented on any of my videos or you know, anything really. I'm not even sure that he knows that I exist. But I've been watching him. I watch his videos, and I watch him in the chat in the Terra Rebels Discords. And I'm starting to put together my own little perspective on the guy. Kind of a little bit of a character assessment, okay? And listen, this is just me. This is my opinion, my perspective from what I see, okay? That's all that this is based on. And I'm going to tell you that I think the guy is a little bit of a narcissist, all right? And I'll give you some reasons right from his own words why I think that. I think he's someone who needs a lot of attention and a lot of praise, okay? I can tell you that I can also be the same way, all right? So I'm not, not trying to get on a high horse. I'm just saying this is what I notice about the guy, okay? He needs a lot of attention, maybe a little hand-holding, okay? Some of the reasons that I feel that way. Well, in one of the chats, maybe a few days ago on the Terra Rebels Discord, I noticed that he was talking with some people, but he was irate about something. So I tried to read through and figure out exactly what it was. I don't know that I really got all of it, exactly what happened initially. But basically he was commenting on saying that there was no way he was going to stand for being berated or cursed out in another language by someone, and that he couldn't believe that a member of the team could act that way. He was really, really upset. Well, if you keep scrolling down a little bit, you find out that they were in one of those chats, one of those voice chats with a bunch of people. Somebody forgot to mute their mic and was having a phone conversation with someone totally else. And maybe it was a heated conversation. Maybe there was some cursing going on. I don't know, right? But it made me think of that Carly Simon song. I bet you think this song is about you. The conversation wasn't even about him, all right? but he heard whatever he heard. And, maybe one day he'll come out and clarify exactly what it was he heard that made him believe that the conversation was about him. But he's after it was explained to him that, listen, dude, it wasn't about you. He was having another conversation with somebody else, forgot to mute his mic. I didn't see any other comments from him on that. Now, there might have been comments that happened in direct messages. I don't know, right? I don't know. But with the information that I have, it made me think, wow, is this the kind of guy that thinks, everything's about him? And he was ready to leave. He was like, well, you can sign me out right now. I don't know. I just got a bad feeling from that, because even if there is conflict, I mean, can you work to figure out if you can get through the conflict? Can you have some conversation about it? Or are you a stomp my feet kind of thing? Oh, you said that about me, I'm out of here, right? Came off a little immature to me. Just my opinion, okay? Now, we get into this video, and he starts talking about how he stepped away from the Terra rebels. There was some kerfuffle with some marketing people, and he made the choice that he didn't want to do it anymore. Again, here we go again. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm stepping away. And they told him, that's cool. No worries, He was upset about that, okay? I think he wanted them to make a fuss. And when they didn't make a fuss and said, listen, mate, whatever you want to do. Yeah, I don't use the word mate. They use the word mate all the time, right? Well, so I'm assuming that's what. But when they told him, listen, that's cool, no worries. When they told him that and they didn't make a fuss and fight for him to stay, hissy fit, right? That's this whole video that he made was one big hissy fit, all right? My perspective, okay? If you see me looking down, I actually made some notes on this because there was a bunch of things in there that really hit me like, oh my goodness, who is this guy, right? So he's talking about this GDPR regulation, and that's a European thing. If you watch this video, and I hope you'll go back and watch this video if you haven't already watched it, so you know what I'm talking about. He's talking about this GDPR rule, and it's a data protection regulation in Europe that says that information gathered in a private, I'm not a legal guy. Information that you get from some private source, a private conversation or anything like that, you can't then take and blast it out on Twitter or on your YouTube or anything like that, okay? Now, HCC, Happy Catty Crypto, has access to these private rooms within the Terra Rebels Discord, okay? They made him part of the team, okay? And there's got to be private rooms where they work things out before they're ready to be released. We're all adults. We know that that's what happens. That has nothing to do with transparency. You want to get things settled and know what you're doing before you start talking to the community about it, okay? So they have these rooms where they have those conversations. He's part of those rooms. So now, if there's something going on in one of those rooms and he decides that he wants to go talk about it on Twitter or whatever, no, you can't do that. There's a rule against that. And I'm assuming that maybe somebody pointed that out to him and he got a little upset about it, okay? All right, that's all part of, you shouldn't have taken that role then, but okay, whatever. It is what it is, all right? So I was listening to another call that they did not long ago, and let me tell you something about this call. I was very, very impressed, right? Listen, I know this sounds like I'm shilling for them, right? But I'm just honestly giving you my opinion, okay? I'm not getting paid by them. Nobody's told me to say what to say. It's my opinion. I was impressed by this call because this is what they were doing. They were running drills, right? It was like, okay, we're going to divide up into teams. I don't know how many teams there were. I don't know how many people on a team, right? I came in and, in kind of the middle of it, right? But we're gonna break up into teams, and you have 1 hour to come up with 5 things that your team is going to be responsible for, okay? And you've got 1 hour to do it. You're going to report back in an hour. This is how long. This is the way it's going to work. Go do it, okay? And this was just an exercise. This wasn't a real thing, but it was an exercise, a drill. And one of the guys even said, listen, hey, can we have a little more time than that? Because, let's be realistic about this. I'm the only one right now on my team that's even awake. We're in all different time zones. I got a guy in Asia who's in bed, and Zaradar, the names these guys, I don't know where they get their names, but whatever. Zaradar, the guy who was running the meeting, told him, he said, listen, this is a drill, okay? You were just dropped in the middle of the wilderness, your plane crashed, and you have an hour to figure out how you're going to survive, all right? This is what this drill is for. Not to talk about all the things, the problems that we have, or the reasons that you can't achieve your objective. This is how to figure out doing it. And the teams that fall short on that, we can see where the weaknesses are, and we can find ways to compensate for that. Okay, that was amazing to me that these guys are doing this. This is how serious they are about their work, about what they do. All right. So anyway, all right. I was in that call, and Happy Caddy Crypto. It's a tongue twister. Happy Caddy HCC was also, he was on one of the teams. Okay, he was on I guess like the marketing team. Okay, and so he's talking about in his video how they broke off into teams, and he proposed, one of the things he proposed was this new Twitter handle or a Twitter page, okay, for them. I guess he wanted to be able to tweet out official business or whatever. Well, some other people on the team, I guess, had some other things that they wanted to talk about and maybe didn't prioritize this Twitter thing on top of the other things that they thought were more important. And it's a team, okay? I don't know how many people were on his team, but I guess the majority of them weren't as interested in this Twitter thing, okay? So what did he do when he talked about the Twitter thing, and they were like, okay, but we need to deal with this, and this. What did he do? What he's done all along, okay? Oh, well then, whatever, fine. I'll just take the Twitter thing off. Forget it. We won't do the Twitter thing then. Pulled a flippin' hissy fit, right? He said it in his video that's what he did. He told them that he would just pull the Twitter thing then, right? And they're like, dude, whoa, this is this guy's character. If he doesn't get attention right now, if you're not telling him that his idea is a great idea and let's get to work on that right now, he's going to take his toys and he's going to go home, all right? I know he's got a lot of followers. I know you guys love him, and he's done a lot for this community. But character-wise, I find him lacking, okay? I'm not buying this video, and I'm not buying the reasons that he's gone from Terra Rebels, all right? I'm hoping that some more information comes out. Anyway, so let's go on, right, with that. He went on to talk about, at one point he was working himself up so much that he just started lashing out at people, all right? Things that he probably was entrusted with, information that he was entrusted with. I'm pissed at everybody now. They didn't, take my Twitter thing seriously. And so I'm calling them out for this, that, and I'm putting their business all out in the street. All right. Recently, just a sidetrack for a minute. I'm sorry if this is a longer video. I know, whatever, get used to it. This is me. Anyway, there was something that came out, about SHIB. Okay. Shitoshi, whatever. The leader of the development team that's working things around Shiba Inu, right? Or trying, no, not really, but whatever. Anyway, don't get me started. He released something on Medium, okay? And I guess some people that had worked with them had left for whatever reason. And one of the people who left, because none of them are doxxed. In other words, they're all anonymous. No personal information about anyone on this team, which is a problem, but that's another video. Anyway, so somebody, I guess that left, maybe left under not so great terms, decided that he was, or she, I'm not even sure, was going to put out some personal information about one of the team, who they were, maybe where they lived, whatever, okay? Listen, that's foul. okay? Even though I think that they should all be doxxed, they should dox themselves. And if they choose not to dox themselves, to remain anonymous, so be it, okay? For you to go and out them, essentially, all right, is just childish and wrong and borderline criminal, if you ask me, okay? But this is what Caddy just did, all right? He was privy to some information that wasn't necessarily released already, and he threw it out there on his video because he's got a hair across his ass, all right? He was talking about validators. It's out there now, so, right? And I didn't know this, but now I do, right? He was talking about some of the validators that are working with the Terra rebels. I guess still have some things, some staking going on at Terraform Labs, okay? And he had questioned them about it, according to him, one time, and they told him, yeah, you know, we do have some staking going on over there, but we would prefer that you didn't talk about it or report on it because we don't want to have anything threatened over there. We know that, you know, allegedly Do Kwon has threatened some people, some of the validators and different things, but we don't want to be threatened over there or whatever. We don't want to have problems over there while we're helping you guys out, okay? So these are guys who have crossed the line, double agents, have crossed the line to try to help us out. But they just want to remain anonymous because they have their other life to live, right? What did he do? He put the whole situation out there. Oh, and by the way, there are validators, you know, that are on the Terra Rebels team that are also staking over in TFL. Childish, bro. Childish. You know what I mean? That's you lashing out because your ego was hurt. Plain and simple. All right. What else did we talk about? I got a little note here from us. Let me read this for a second. Oh, okay. Yeah. So he was saying, and these are his words. That's the thing. He was saying that they asked him not to post about it, and he agreed to it. For the greater good, he said. Okay? He realized that talking about that wasn't going to help anything, and for the greater good of the cause, he wasn't going to talk about it. But now that he's pissed off, now that he's scorned, now he's going to talk about it. So now the greater, listen, pay attention. Now that he's upset, the greater good of this community doesn't matter anymore. Now he's lashing out. So all of you who follow him because he's such a, you know, LUNC guy, he's so for this community, well, he knew that putting that information out could be detrimental to the community. He did it anyway because he was pissed off. You should take note of that. I took note of it, okay? And then there was something about Fatman. I don't even know who Fatman is. From what I gather, he's another YouTuber. I guess he's very popular. Honest to God, I don't know who he is. I've never seen a video. But he put out a bunch of information, okay? And the only thing that I've ever heard about Fatman is that he had some sort of scuffle with maybe one or two of the Terra Rebels development team, okay? They had some words exchanged on Twitter. I really don't even know what it was about, okay? But he went out of his way in this video to let you know, listen, Fatman has he's talked about all this, okay? He's, you know, you can go to his videos, basically, is what he was saying, and you can hear all about this stuff, okay? Now, Fatman is, I guess, a decided enemy, or I don't know, enemy's probably too strong a word, but he's not someone who's a fan of the Terra Rebels. I don't get that they're a fan of his, okay? So to come out in his video just now, HCC, and to say, yeah, Fatman is, you know, he's talked about all this. You should, you know, watch his videos. You can get all the information from him. He's reported on everything. That's choosing a side, right? That's going to the enemy of your enemies, my friend. I don't even know if that applies, right? But that's what it makes me think of, okay? So prior to this fallout, he had nothing to say about Fatman, right? But now that he knows that Fatman is an enemy and he's mad at these guys, he's going to send you over to Fatman for your information. Just foul, man. Just childish, you know, in my view, okay? Listen, maybe there's more to the story I haven't heard. I don't know. I'm open to that, okay? I'm open to being wrong. That's fine. But from what I'm seeing, these are his own words, okay? Now, he was saying that he's being dragged through the dirt by the marketing team, all right? I'm on the Discord all the time, okay? I even chat with some of them sometimes when they have time. I haven't seen anything there about anybody slandering him or dragging him through any dirt at all, okay? Maybe this is what he perceives is happening to him because they're not kissing his ass as much as he wants it kissed, okay? I don't know, all right? So now he also said something about after they dragged him through the dirt, they cut him out. They've cut him out of everything, all right? Well, earlier you said that the other one was stepping away. Now you're saying that you're out because they cut you out. Which one was it? I'm not sure the way things went down, but I'm getting the impression that I'm getting information here in this video from someone who was scorned, who maybe should have taken a little time to cool off before they made this video. Just my humble opinion, all right? Okay. So, and then again at the end of the video, he starts ranting about this Twitter thing again. I took 3 weeks to get this Twitter thing together, and they just brush it aside and blah, 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 blah. Man, I mean, every time he opened his mouth in this video, he was saying something else that made him look really not good, okay? It made him look like he was sulking, like he was kind of a crybaby because he wasn't getting the attention and the accolades that he felt he deserved. And that's not being a team, man. That's not being a team, I don't see any of these other guys, and they're extremely impressive. They're really, really successful in their fields. I don't see them having these kind of disagreements. And again, maybe it happens in these private rooms. I don't know, but I don't see it, okay? Anyway, so yeah, and then this one cracked me up. He says that the marketing team is being run by a couple guys that he thinks it's basically being run by children. I'm not calling anyone out, he says. You just called them out in the same sentence. He says, he says, the marketing team's run by children, but I'm not calling anybody out. Man, honestly, right? He's trying to come off like the good guy. He's trying to head this off at the pass because it's obviously going to come out. So he wants to do a preemptive strike and let me strike against them and talk about how bad they are and this and that and damage them, right? But I'm the good guy. Hey, we're burning, blah, 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 blah. We're burning all these coin and, follow me for the truth and all this stuff, right? Man, I used to really, really respect you, from me to you. I really did. But this video shouldn't have been made. You should have taken a little time and cooled off and maybe come at this, from another angle. Maybe you're right about it all, but maybe you could have come off as the bigger guy. Because you talk about how you've done things for the betterment of the community, but now that you're angry, all that goes to shit, and you put it all out there, There was one last thing, okay, that I just off the top of my head now that I'm remembering. I don't even think I wrote it down. And he was talking about merchandise, okay? And this was something he was saying that, this is a top secret thing that they're doing. They're producing merchandise now. They don't want you to know about it, right? So he put it out there, again, to try to damage them, to hurt them, because they've hurt him. There's no other reason to do that, okay? You can walk away from your situation and just be the bigger man and be quiet about things that there's a reason why they're being kept silent right now. Now, we know from the very first AMA that they said, and they were very transparent about it, that at some point it's going to come a time where we're going to have to do maybe some crowdfunding or whatever. For now, we're all working as volunteers, and they have been all this time. They've done a ton of work, okay? But at some point, we're going to have to do some crowdfunding because some of these things that we're doing, it's going to take some financing to maybe get them accomplished, okay? I expect that all of this stuff, will be out there for us to see. And if it's not, I'll be the first one to call them out on it, okay? But it's no surprise that maybe, and honestly, I'm thinking about it. I don't know what their intentions are, but I'm thinking about it. If they're putting out merchandise, to me, that's awesome, because instead of just doing a crowdfunding thing where, hey, we need money, can you donate? They're trying to put something together to actually give back to the community, okay? Because everything that they're doing is hopefully going to, we're all going to reap the rewards of it sometime in the future. This isn't an overnight thing. You know, I can't, you know, months from now, a year from now, years from now, I don't know, okay? But what they're doing, we're going to reap the benefits of sometime in the future. So coming up with some merch to sell, to make some revenue, is giving us something right now, okay? It's not just saying, hey, can you give us some cash? It's saying, you know, we need cash to do all these things, and you know, we can't bring this all to fruition right now, but you know, we made these things, and let's give this to you. You know what I mean? You know, you buy it from us, and you know, and we'll give you these hats you can wear, or you know, socks. So I don't know what the you know, keychain. I don't know, right? But I don't have a problem with it. And if they weren't right, if they were working this out and figuring how they were going to present it to the community, so it didn't look like they were like, you know, just high on themselves and, hey, you guys want to buy some Terra Rebel stuff because we're so cool, right? If they're trying to figure out how to get that across the right way and didn't want to talk about it yet until they did that, I don't have a problem with that. I'm an adult. I know how things work, okay? I know how business works. I know that people can get different perceptions of things that might not be accurate. So I don't have a problem with that. But he tried to use it to hurt them, to try to make you think that they've got all these secrets that they're holding that you don't know about. I'm sure there's tons of things that we don't know about yet that are in the works. And when they come to fruition, when they're ready to be released, they'll let us know about it. I don't have a problem with any of that. What I do have a problem with is somebody putting it all out there because they're scorned, okay? That's my perspective on what just happened. Take it for what it is, you know. If anything I said made sense, tell me in the comments. If nothing I said made sense and I'm full of shit, tell me in the comments, you know. That's fine. I'm open to it, all right? That's it. I went on way too long on this. I really wanted this to be half as long as this, but I had to get all this out because it was just ridiculous what I just saw. I really didn't like it, and I think that you guys, your perspectives are trying to be manipulated. And I wanted you to have a different perspective so that you can make up your own minds because you're adults too. All right? I'll talk to you later. Ciao.